Well, today I am going to be working on a 2006 Toyota Tacoma TRD pre-runner, and I was driving home last night and none of the brake lights worked. How do I know this? Because somebody followed me home up my driveway to tell me at night that my brake lights did not work. So today we're going to go check a few things and see why that is. The first thing you're going to want to do is, when none of your brake lights work at all, you can pretty much assume that it's not going to be the light bulbs inside of the housing. So the first thing to do is to check the obvious, is to check the fuses. On the Tacoma, it is underneath the, kind of to the left, underneath the mirror controls where that extra storage compartment is. Just going to want to pull that out. It's just held in with some clips. And then there is your fuse panel. So you're going to want to take a look at your fuse panel, and it's on the other side of this. Now take the tail light fuse out, and there's two fuse boxes on this. So this one is it's a 10 amp fuse, third one in from the left. It's a 10 amp. These fuses can be a little tricky to get out. It's hard to tell, but the fuse is not blown here. So I don't see a burn mark on that fuse, so we're going to move on to the next fuse that it could be. Alright, the next place it could be is the second fuse box, which is going to be underneath this thing. So you're just going to take the clip in the back, lift it off, and then the same deal on this. It's really hard and faint to see, but there's a diagram on the back. And you're going to check to see which fuse it's going to be. Okay, you've located it, and it is also a 10 amp fuse. It's labeled stop. And wouldn't you know it, that one is also not blown. So the one under the dash is not blown, and the one under the hood is not blown as well. So that leaves us with, are we getting power to the brake switch underneath the dash? Okay, in order to check this, you're going to need a voltmeter or a test light would work. And right here, it's right behind the brake pedal, there's a clip. You're going to want to push the clip and pull it out. This is where you're going to do your testing, and you need to do it with the ignition on. And if we get voltage here, I can say for certain it's the switch. So the fuses aren't blown, it's getting power to the switch. That's where we're at right now. We're going to figure out if we're getting power to the switch. Going to turn the ignition on. I'm going to be using a voltmeter. Okay, so we've got 12.03 volts going to the wire So to the switch, we've got 12 volts. So we know that the wiring is good, so that only leaves the switch in question. So based on that diagnosis, I'm going to say it's the switch. You've determined that it is the switch. To remove the switch, once you have disconnected the blue clip or the clip from the switch, it's as easy as you push up just a little bit and turn to the left, a quarter turn, and it just comes right out. And then you're just going to get another switch. Then you're going to take the new switch and you're going to put it into the hole. Turn it a quarter of a turn, then take the clip, clip it back in, and then that's pretty much how you remove that clip and then reinstall a new one. A little bitty overview. We've checked the fuses underneath the hood and underneath the dash, and those fuses weren't blown visually, but just to make sure, we checked the voltage going to the switch, and I was getting a full 12 voltage up into the switch. So that leaves nothing out of the question that it is definitely the switch itself that is causing all three of my brake lights not to work.